Beloved Saints, today's 5-minute message of redemptive history is about Ahaz of the second period in the genealogy of Jesus Christ, Part 2, from the 4th book of Redemptive History series, God's Profound and Mysterious Providence. Last time in Part 1, we examined how Ahaz followed the abominable ways of the Gentiles. At this time in Part 2, let us learn how Ahaz did not rely on God, but on the army of Assyria, and share God's grace together. From 735 to 731 BC, these 4 years were part of the years of reign that Ahaz ruled in the southern kingdom of Judah. However, these 4 years were omitted from the official regnal period of the southern kingdom of Judah, because the entire kingdom was trampled underfoot by the Assyrians during this time. This is recorded in 2 Chronicles chapter 28. First, Ahaz suffered much harm from the attack by the allied forces of Rezin the king of Aram and Pekah the king of Israel. At the time, Rezin king of Aram allied with Pekah king of Israel to institute an anti-Assyrian policy in the region. However, Judah adopted a pro-Assyrian policy, and thus Aram and Israel came together to attack Judah. Rezin king of Aram first attacked Elath and drove out the people of Judah. He also carried away a great number of captives. Pekah the king of Israel killed 120,000 soldiers of Judah in one day. He took away 200,000 men and women of Judah as captives. Outwardly, it seems as the allied forces of Aram and Israel attacked Judah for political reasons. But in reality, it was the providence of God at work, trying to awaken Ahaz to his sin when he forsook God and walked in the ways of the kings of Israel. Ahaz made molten images of the Baals and followed the abominations of the Gentiles by burning his sons in fire and sacrificing and burning incense on the high places, on the hills, and under every green tree. So, when there was an invasion from Aram and Israel, Ahaz should have realized his sins and relied on God. However, he relied on Assyria instead. Second, Edomites and the Philistines attacked the southern kingdom of Judah. Through the prophet Isaiah, God sternly warned Ahaz not to rely on the Assyrians. However, Ahaz ignored God's warning and sought for help from the Assyrian king. So what happened next? Well, Edomites invaded Judah and carried away the captives. At the same time, the Philistines invaded and captured several cities. And so through these successive invasions, God was humbling King Ahaz, who had greatly sinned against the Lord. Third, instead of helping, Assyria actually afflicted the southern kingdom of Judah. When Assyrians heard the cry of help from Ahaz, they did not come to aid Judah right away. The Assyrians attacked the Arameans, who were returning from the invasion of Judah, and they conquered Damascus, the capital city of Aram. And then Assyrian king attacked Israel and captured its cities. So it is clear that the Assyrians were not coming to aid the southern kingdom of Judah, but was merely using their request for help as a pretext to attack Aram and the northern kingdom of Israel in order to expand Assyrian territory. After attacking the Arameans and the Israelites, the Assyrians arrived late in Judah. When they arrived, the Edomites and the Philistines were attacking Judah. However, rather than helping Judah, the Assyrians actually afflicted them. 2 Chronicles 28 verse 20 states, "King of Assyria came against him and afflicted him instead of strengthening him." Here the term afflicted means to besiege or to distress. the king of Assyria pressured and tormented the southern kingdom of Judah rather than helping them. Beloved saints, although Ahaz had received sufficient warnings from God, he did not rely on God. Likewise, if we do not rely on God, we will also fall victim to our own schemes and receive greater afflictions from the thing or the person we are relying upon. Psalms 146 verses 3-5 states, "Do not put your trust in princes, in human beings who cannot save. When their spirit departs, they return to the ground. On that very day, their plans come to nothing. Blessed are those whose help is the God of Jacob, whose hope is in the Lord their God." So today, we must only rely on God, who is the fundamental solution to all of life's problems and the safest refuge in the day of trouble. By doing this, let us all be victorious. I bless in the name of the Lord.